Good day, viewers. Today I am going to be teaching how to make another new type of drip recipe. But before I go ahead, I have an old dummy here which I'm going to be changing the color from blue to black. Since I want to use something like gold drip, I'm going to be changing the color to black so that it will show me exactly what I want to see very well. So you can see how rough the dummy is. It's actually been covered and designed. There are so many things that were on top I had to remove in order to make use of it. So please don't mind the roughness of the dummy. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to show you how to paint the dummy from blue to black. What I am using now is just water and black powdered color. I am not using edible spirit. I'm using black powdered color with water, for that is the only thing that can make the colors to be even without seeing any patches, without having any patch at all. So you can see I have been able to add a teaspoon of water and a teaspoon of black color. It can be smaller, depending on what you want. Okay, so next you just add your hand glove, and then so that your hand will not be too dirty with the black color. So add the hand glove and then start painting with your foam. Now you can do this painting twice, but I'm going to be doing once, as what I want to do is just to show you how to make a drip. So I will change the color, the blue color, completely to gold, including the base. All the lines, I should be able to put my foam in between the lines also to change them to black. So you fixing your hands in between the lines, making sure that the black touches every part. Like I said, I am not trying to be perfect with the painting, but I just want to let you know that you can actually change any color of your cake to black. Okay, like the one we are working on now, I actually sprayed black with my airbrush machine. Now I am using my foam. Assuming you don't have airbrush machine, I'm using my foam now to apply my black. I can still use the foam to apply the blue color. Everything depends on what is available at the moment. It does not take much time to dry after painting, and it doesn't matter that it's water. All you need to do to get this right is to make sure that the water is not running. So after that, I now take my butter. This is supposed to be 2 tablespoons, but I'm using 1 heap. That 1 heap is just 2 tablespoons I joined together. Alright, and I'm going to be pouring hot water into another bowl while my butter is placed into its separate bowl. I'm now going to be placing the bowl of my butter on top of the hot water to dissolve it very well. And now there's something I want you to know. I do not want the butter to turn to oil or vegetable oil completely. I want it only to melt, not to change from the normal color or from the normal look of butter. So what I am doing, when I dip a little on top of the hot water, I'll raise it up again. I dip and I raise it up because I don't want it to go away from the previous color of the butter. I want it in such a way that when it dries, it will go back to the way the butter, whereas when it gets cold, it should go back to the way the butter is supposed to be. Okay, so that is it. You can see I have completely melted the butter, and the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to add my luster dust. Like I said, I'm going to be using the gold luster dust. You can use any color of your choice. You can even use ordinary powdered color. It will also give you what you want. Okay, and I've added just up to, not really up to 1 teaspoon, but a bit up to that. Now, one good thing about this is that after mixing it, you can pour it into a plastic where you will be using to pipe anytime you want to drip on your cake. Okay, now this is the plastic I want to use, the container I want to use. I'll just pour it in there, and after using, I'll cork it back, that is, cover it back, place it where it's supposed to be. Anytime I want to use again, I dip it on top of hot water a little, and then I'll use it again until I finish it. So that is one good thing about this drip. All right, so now next, allow it to cool down a little before using it. If not, by the time, if you use it immediately, you will notice that it will just be pouring like water. This is what you will be getting. Okay, this is exactly what you are going to be getting. It will continue running like water. But when you allow it to cool down in between, that is not completely cold and not hot, just normal temperature before it starts coming together. All right, I'm still going to show you how it will come out by the time you do that. So, but right now I am going to let it cool down a little before using it again. So this is what you get. No matter how careful you try to drip, it will just be running like water. All right, I'm trying to be careful, but even at that, it's still running like water. So I'm going to set it aside and allow it to really cool down. I'm going to use the other part of the cake, the back side of the cake, to demonstrate by the time it's cooled. While we are waiting for it to get to the room temperature, we are going to continue with the rest of the design. Now just roll out your black fondant again. Like I said, it can be any design you like. Okay, there is no particular design that must go with the drip. Take note of that. So just make sure you roll it out, not too thin and not too flat, just something that will be able to stand well by the time you ruffle it. So fold into 2 and then into 4, and then attach it, okay, by putting your hands in between. Okay, you understand? Then you attach it. The same thing I'm going to be doing here. You attach it just like that until I go around the cake. This is actually an old design in cake making. Like I said, you can use any design you like. Okay, so you can see I've been able to go around the cake, and the next thing I'm going to do now is to show you the drip is now a bit cold. You can see it's not coming out easily. All right, it will now drip down like the normal drip we normally use on our cakes. This time around, it will just be going down gradually, no longer running like before, and it will now give you what you want. Now take note, you make your drip, allow it to come down a little bit to room temperature, okay, and then you drip, and it will give you what you want. You see how thick it's looking and how nicely it is dripping, unlike the first one I showed you. So I'm going to continue by finishing up the cake. I'm still going to make the same thing I made on the base, but this time few of it I want to place by the right side of the cake. And then I'm going to be completing it using some balls, a little flour, and then the happy birthday cake topper. Now remember, you can pipe. If you have like royal icing, you can pipe on top. You can even you can do cut and paste and place on top. Anything at all. As I'm teaching this, I'm just using anything that comes to my mind. As cake these days has a lot to do with abstract, okay? Anything you do on a cake is a design. So that is it. And after this, I'm now going to be inserting my balls, and after the balls, the flour. After the flour, I'm going to be finishing it up with a happy birthday cake topper. And next, a happy birthday cake topper. Because I am working with a dummy, I had to first of all insert my dowel rod to create a hole before I can insert my happy birthday cake topper. Else, if you want to just force it in, it might break it. So that is it. The next thing I'm going to be adding maybe a little highlight on the base part of the cake to just bring out the design a little, and then you are good to go. So now you can see I'm stopping here. I don't have to continue going around, okay, to avoid much wastage. And the next, which is very, very important, is to make sure you line the edges of your base, that is the board. Get something like a ribbon, a paper, anything at all that is within your reach that will be befitting for the cake you have made. Just use it and line the board, and you are good to go. Your cake is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel so that you'll be getting any video or any type of video at all that I am able to post, okay? Thank you and bye. God bless you.